Good morning. This is me, Maximus, and today is November the 16th, and this is my birthday, and so I'm here in my beautiful home, and Bonnie is at work for a little bit, but she will come back in a little while, and she is only going to work a couple of hours, and then we will have lunch together. And I am in a short while going out to get myself a bottle of wonderful whiskey. I'm looking forward to that. And it is my 65th birthday, and I'm extremely happy, and I feel very fortunate to have come this far in my life. And so I'm going to sit down here for a little while and talk with you and just let you know that you haven't contacted me because you just do not believe that it is possible what I'm talking about. But of course, it is possible for you to have, like me, embodied language. And that is only going to happen, of course, if you are willing to admit and to also understand and to also do what it takes to stop your own disembodied language. And that is what is also stopping you from getting in touch with me, because you're not going to get away with it when you talk with me. Yeah, with me, it is like that because I know what ongoing embodied language is all about. And yeah, your embodied language is just a waste of time. And you have already wasted much of your time. I've wasted a lot of time with it. It is almost inevitable that we human beings do that because, we were all conditioned by disembodied language. And I believe I have lived now 65 years, and I have done quite some studying. I've done quite some reading and research and whatnot. I've studied psychology. I got diplomas in that, and I've also taught psychology. But I no longer teach anything to anybody. But in all these years, I have never come across anybody who was addressing what I'm addressing. I never came across anybody who also said to me, "Yes, Maximus, this is fantastic. We ought to all just do this." Yeah, people have only, you could say, in a placating way, in a sort of a, what is it, semi-interested way, gone along with what I say, but nobody has actually, or nobody, there's been a few people who have shown real interest, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, people have not responded to this at all because they are unwilling to acknowledge that they engage in disembodied language almost permanently. And if they have a little bit of embodied language, it happens accidentally. It happens, without them realizing that it happens. It happens because somehow the circumstances are positive. Somehow we were still able to create a little bit of the environment in which we could actually begin to have embodied language, but never, never enough, never long enough, never sufficiently enough, skillfully enough, so that we could actually begin to acknowledge the great difference between our usual way of dealing with language, which is disembodied language, and embodied language, the language that I am talking about. Yeah, just look at me, just listen to me, just feel what I'm saying, just hear what I'm saying. Forget about everything that you've heard other people talk about. Don't talk to me about their books and their podcasts or their lectures or what they have said about whatever. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is something completely new. You haven't heard of it. You haven't done it. You haven't had it. So if you come to me, you have to come to me humbly, acknowledging that you do not know this and that you are willing to hold your conditioning at bay and to say, like, okay, so I can actually do this? Yes, you can. If you begin to listen to yourself, hear yourself, you will embody your language. It is just that simple. So the proof is in the pudding. And if you do not hear it, you are not doing it. It's not up to me to tell you whether you are having embodied language or not. Of course, I can tell you. I can tell you how I experience you, and if you're not having it, I know when you're having it and when you're not having it. I know when I have it and when I also don't have it. Yeah? I mean, how else could I continue with this if I didn't know what my disembodied language is, if I didn't know that, geez, that has nothing to do with this. I don't want that. I don't want that disembodied language. I don't like it. I don't want it. It doesn't feel good. It is not me. Actually, disembodied language is the way in which we deal with language where the other is always more important than you. Well, in embodied language, you are more important than the other, but not in the way that we usually comprehend that, where we put ourselves above others. No, we are talking with ourselves in embodied language. And talking with ourselves in embodied language is more important than talking with others, because talking with others has always meant that we are not truly in touch with ourselves. So, when we talk with ourselves and have embodied language, we realize that, of course, how we talk with ourselves is how we could talk with others, how we would like to talk with others, how it is wonderful to talk with others. And that can only happen if that other way of dealing with language is understood, is not happening anymore. And so we've got to be able to talk about that. We've got to be able to get clear on that. We've got to be able to address our disembodied language with our embodied language. Yeah? And once we do that, it will subside. We are no longer judging ourselves. It is not about judgment. It is about whether we do what I say in the sense that we engage in embodied language or not. And it's one or the other. We are either engaging in embodied language or in disembodied language. So when one starts, the other stops. When the other starts, the other one stops. We cannot have them simultaneously. Yeah? And this going back and forth between what you could say is embodied language and disembodied language, for the most part, we are not having embodied language. If we are really having embodied language, we are not going back and forth. Do you get that? When we're having embodied language, we just continue with it. and yes, somewhere along the line, we lose track of it. And we are again trapped into our old conditioning. Okay, but it happens unconsciously. And once we get out of it again, once we acquire embodied language again, then we say, "Oh my God, I was having disembodied language all the time, and I didn't even realize it." Yes, exactly. That's how it is. That's how it is. It's only retrospectively that we realize, like, "Oh my God, I was just totally going on and on and on with my disembodied language. I was just carried away by my disembodied language." And yes, this is also why we are obsessed with whatever it is that we supposedly think. Yeah, our mind. No, it has nothing to do with that. When you have embodied language, there is no mind, there is no thought. This is just all nonsense. There's no language inside of you. There's only spoken language, language that you can hear, language that you can write and that you can see and read. So there is no language anywhere inside of you. There are no sentences in your head. There is no thoughts in your head. This is just something we got used to because of our disembodied language. It's just a way of speaking, and a very bad way at that. Yeah? So when we are going to have embodied language, everything is going to change. Our lives are going to change. My life has changed because of this, and I feel so accomplished. I feel so grateful. I feel so happy. And yeah, this happiness is my language enlightenment. So here I am on my birthday, on this glorious 65th birthday, talking with you, with my embodied language, about my language enlightenment. Yes. And if you would just be willing to just sit here with me, wherever you are, I am where you are. Yeah? I am myself. And if you are yourself, you are with me. So this is not just some joke. This is not just some spiritual mumbo jumbo. This is really true. If you just truly listen to me and feel what this is, you are going to want to talk with me. And we're going to have many conversations about this and have a really good time at that. Laugh about how we were all stuck unknowingly in this disembodied language and how we now feel liberated from this disembodied language, because this is freedom. Yeah. We have talked about freedom, but freedom was never freedom with disembodied language. It was always something that we wanted to have, but which we didn't really feel. And if we felt it, we felt it in such a defensive way. We felt it in such a protective way. We felt it in such a, what is it? In such a, what is it? It is, we felt it in such a fearful way. Yeah, because somebody might take it away. Well, nobody's ever going to take away my freedom, I'm telling you. And there's nothing to defend here, okay? So there's also nothing to pretend. So yeah, there's something else about freedom that we haven't really gotten to. And why? Because we are now, with our embodied language, realizing the freedom of the individual with our own language. Yes. Yeah. So if you are still with me, if you haven't turned it off, if you haven't gone on with other more important things, yeah, as you always do, if you haven't done that, then you can now sit here with me for a little bit to experience the result of what I've just addressed, how that is working, how that is having an effect on you. And you can just feel where that takes you. I'm not trying to do anything to you. You are actually doing this. You are actually doing this yourself. You decide to listen to this. You decide to give this a shot. You decide like, hey, what is this guy talking about? Why is he so happy? What is this? How can that be? How can a 65-year-old guy talk like this? And he isn't even drunk yet. But I'm going to be drunk this afternoon, I'm telling you. I'm going to buy myself a big bottle of whiskey. Oh, I'm already celebrating. Okay, now, just bear with me. Yeah, this is the end of this video. This is, I need to go, and I need to go. No, I don't need to go, but I only wanted to say this, and so just let's I'm so excited. No, but just calm down and feel with me where I am. And I am where you are, remember? Yeah. You are where I am if you literally listen to what I say. Isn't that wonderful? And thank you for all your well wishes. I didn't get any cards. No. I did get actually. I did get some wonderful wishes. I did. I'm just lying. Sorry. No, but most of you, of course, don't contact me. I know, but that's the audience I'm talking with. I'm talking to the audience who doesn't want to listen to me. And I'm not even trying to convince you. You have to convince yourself. Yeah. Now, okay. Do you get it? Do you feel it? Yeah. All right. Well, this is it for now. Thank you for being with me today on this glorious day, and I look forward to hearing from you. And then we'll talk together. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Bye. Have a good day.